Thanks for watching Afternoon Live. November 24th, 1971 began as an ordinary day at the Portland airport, but by nightfall the airport would be the focus of one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in FBI history. Here to tell us more about the fascinating story of D.B. Cooper, we welcome Dan Wyatt. Thanks so much for being here today.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for the invite.
Can you remind us of some of the basic facts for some who might not be familiar with this fascinating story?
He bought a $20 ticket at PDX in 1971, day before on Thanksgiving, and flew up to Seattle with the intention of skyjacking the flight and earning some ransom money.
Right. So he makes it to Seattle and he basically makes a trade on the ground there?
They do. They bring on 4 parachutes and $200,000 in a Seattle First, First bag.
And then what happens?
Well, they took off after some refueling malfunctions and things, and then let the entire passenger manifest go, and then kept the flight crew, actually one of the flight crew and then the pilots, of course.
Okay.
And told them to take off with the rear stair open and at a certain elevation and certain speed. So he kind of knew something about flight.
Right.
And ordered the remaining flight attendant at the time, Tina Mucklow, up front in the cabin, in the cockpit, and jumped out into infamy.
And no one has seen or heard tell of this person since?
Not really, no. They found some money in 1980.
Right.
A kid in Vancouver was digging a fire pit and found about $600,000 of the $200,000.
Okay. So people are fascinated with this story for all different reasons. I understand you have a really interesting personal connection.
I can't remember not hearing about D.B. Cooper. It was that same day, and my future mother was waiting to board a plane to go down to Texas to see my future father, and interrupted that flight a little bit and delayed, obviously, things at the airport, and she had to wait and didn't know if they were flying out that night while they were sitting on the tarmac. So she remembers looking at the plane, and so I've grown up with this story my whole life. And he almost, I like to say, maybe interrupted my birth.
Possibly. So over the years, I'm sure you hear tell of this story over and over again. What are some things that have fascinated you about this? Like even the name D.B. Cooper, were those initials even accurate?
No, they were. It was the name he gave was Dan Cooper.
Right.
And might have been a press blunder. No offense. The initials D.B. came to be and got reprinted over and over.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it's kind of known as that, but actually the name he gave was Dan Cooper.
Right. So all these years, so many different searches and investigations have been launched to try and figure out where he landed, what happened to the rest of all that money. Has there ever been much more recovered besides that wad of cash?
Not really, no. I mean, they think they find the parachute and then it turns out to be invalidated and it's not it, and a few other things. They did find a plate off of like a safety plate off the airplane at one point. I don't remember what year that was, but yeah, it's been pretty scant. And there's 2 camps, as I like to say. There are those of us that were kind of into the lore and quote unquote fun of it.
Right.
And then when the FBI released their files, I think it was in 2016, that's when the citizen sleuths came out of the woodwork, and it got more heated in the debate about who it was and where it is and who they think it is and where he jumped out. And it can get quite contentious, but there's some of us that like to be on the fun side. I used to attend the party in Ariel that happened every year at a little outpost there where they think was the jump zone area.
Okay. Are there some leading theories today that people are clinging on to more than others?
Oh, everybody's got one.
Okay.
Yeah. I prefer to keep it a mystery.
Sure.
That's part of the Northwest lore.
It is kind of incredible that we just haven't figured it out after all this time.
Oh, it's unheard of. And actually, part of this CooperCon we're doing, we are showing a film called American Skyjacker, who's about a copycat guy who they actually did catch, but he did get away with it. He jumped out with the money and was on the lam for a bit, but they did catch up to him. And
was initially suspected that he could be the same guy, right?
Potentially, yeah.
Okay. But ended up being a copycat after all that. So tell us about this event coming up.
So CooperCon, it's been going on in some variation for about 6-7 years now. And it's kind of moved around. It was in Portland originally, and being a Cooperhead, I convinced the organizer at the time to move it over to the theater and kind of make Vancouver D.B. Cooper Central, because that's where the money find was.
Exactly.
And then it went to Seattle Flight Museum for a couple of years, and now we have a couple of new organizers, John and Ryan, that are taking it over, and they're doing a great thing. It's been going on under their leadership for 2 years, and it's back in Vancouver.
We
so
can share
very
and
exciting.
Debate to our heart's content what the real story is.
There's plenty of information there, all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Awesome. Thank you for stopping by. Great chatting with you.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
we'll have more information about DB CooperCon on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.